Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
Welcome to this week's edition of World Crisis Radio. This is Webster Tarpley speaking from Washington, D.C. It is May 1st, May Day. It is the International Festival of Labor, which we salute. And, of course, this is all made in USA, right? This is all directly from the U.S. and then abandoned here by the reactionaries and the reactionary consensus, but still living on just about everywhere else in the world. And maybe these May days of this current phase are getting to be a bit more serious and more robust than the recent ones. Let's try to talk about some quick themes. We've only got about 2 segments worth of news and analysis because we're gonna hopefully take you to Moscow and then a series of other guests. Right, we're about 1 week away from the British election campaign. We're a couple of weeks away from the campaigns inside the U.S. Right, the domestic ones. So let's talk about a couple of things. First of all, among the various military exercises, which one should you fear? Which one should you be concerned about? Two alternatives. Is it, for example, Jade Helm, which is supposed to be the globalists and the black helicopters coming to take over Texas and New Mexico and Arizona and Southern California? Is it going to be Cloven Bundy? Is he going to be out there defending us against the globalists and the black helicopters? I think this is absurd. This is indeed fear porn. What you ought to be worried about, clear and present danger, it's called Operation Fearless Guardian. Mark it well. Operation Fearless Guardian. This is ongoing. This is real. This is explosive. This is 300 U.S. Special Forces, paratroopers, special troops that are training the Ukrainian fascist Soldateska. That is the Ukrainian army, bad as they are, and, of course, the various fascist paramilitary militias and Freikorps and so forth. And that's going on from Lvov in the west all the way over to Mariupol, and I'm sure very far into the east. I would bet that there are U.S. troops now on the soil of the 2 new independent countries, the Lugansk People's Republic and the Donetsk People's Republic, because they don't hold all of their territory. So there are now U.S. intruders on those areas. So that's what I would say. Forget about Jade Helm. Jade Helm is a sideshow. Jade Helm may well be a diversion to take your attention away from the one that really counts. Because it's clear to me that the one that really counts is Operation Fearless Guardian. Shut it down. Tell Obama, tell Ashton Carter, hey, Ash, time to cut out the Operation Fearless Guardian. Now we're going to have the anniversary of the victory of the Allies over Nazi Germany on May 8th in the West and May 9th in the East. And May 9th is the big one because that was the largest single bilateral military engagement. It's actually multilateral, but in human history. And we salute the contribution of the Soviet Union, the Soviet peoples, the Russian people among them, and all the rest. And we condemn any attempt to dirty up the U.S. record. Remember, the United States has one good thing. Never an alliance with Hitler. Never. And never the call to appease Hitler that you got from Britain and France, right? We go back to the quarantine speech and the rattlesnakes of the sea, as President Roosevelt put it at the time. Now, as I mentioned, we are about 1 week from the British election, and we've, of course, got our man Stuart Hooper that we hope to hear from later in the broadcast over there in Essex. But here's the idea. Weimarization is going on apace. The fragmentation, the weakening, the hollowing out, flattening of the British political system, right? A long time ago, you could choose between the Tories, the Conservatives, and Labour, and that was it. But now we've got, God knows, UKIP, UK Independence Party, racist. Don't vote for them. You're a racist if you vote for UKIP. That is called scapegoating. That's saying, oh, the world economic crisis of 2008 was caused by some terrified illegal aliens. And again, I still don't understand why, if you're in Calais, you're willing to risk your life to get to the British side of that coast. I just don't get it. Somebody please tell me, what is it that makes the British side of that better than the French side? If you look at the social services, I think you'll find that there's a terrible mass delusion going on. Anyway, UKIP, that's this guy Farage, rhymes with garbage or other things. The Liberal Democrats, these traitors, right, the people who were going to keep education free and who then turned around and started charging heavy-duty tuition for education as the price of their deal with Cameron because they wanted to get into power. The Lib Dems have lost more than half of their support, so gaining at their expenses UKIP and then this Welsh entity, the Plaid Cymru, and the Scottish National Party. They're both up at about 5%, and the Green Party at 4%. So here's the idea. This is my argument, another argument why you should vote for Stuart Hooper if you can. Wall Street Journal, Friday, today. Disgruntled UK voters rally to small parties. May 7th election could deny either Labour or Conservatives an outright majority. So, quite possibly a hung parliament or a multi-party coalition, the very unstable kind. Okay, so that's the situation. If you're in Britain, help Stuart Hooper. Come on out, volunteer for him. Pass out some leaflets. Go to this area in Essex and help him to campaign. And we'll give you the coordinates later on here. Now, free trade and the Bernie Sanders candidacy. Now, Bernie Sanders is coming forward supposedly as the alternative to Hillary Clinton on the left, right? Because of the pusillanimous failure of Elizabeth Warren to do anything for a country which is in deep trouble, like this one, we get Bernie Sanders. Now, Bernie Sanders has some positive qualities, but I'm afraid he is not what he's pretending to be these days. Bernie Sanders really does not have a clear program. They had the front page of the Washington Post today suggests that Bernie is looking to attack the billionaire class, and this is you can obviously see why many would sympathize with this. And it's not that it's wrong. It's just that we're likely to get one attempt with this stuff. One more chance before fascism comes down. Look at it that way. Bernie, you've got one more chance, so you better give it everything you've got. And it doesn't look to me like you are. So he's talking the billionaire class. Washington Post headline, Sanders takes aim at the billionaire class. The problem with that is that's not where the money is. The money is in the Wall Street zombie banks and the Wall Street hedge fund hyenas. Those institutions. And the way you get that money is not to attack the income of someone. Well, you can obviously attack the income of the super rich, but you'll see that doesn't give you the money you need. You've got to go for the Wall Street sales tax, 1% on their turnover, on everything they buy and sell. Back in a minute.